So I was like, okay. And a lot of this stuff is, to be honest, I was kind of looking for reasons to not like the movie, mostly because people rag on the first one so much, and more importantly, they ragged on George Lucas, which I thought was completely rude of them. And so I was being kind of a dink about it, I guess.
Yeah, well, given how how the prequels went, we were kind of predisposed to, let's see what happens.
Yeah, but I mean that's not. I mean, you can not like a movie all you want. Just don't. I mean, people got so offended. I mean, and have you heard what happened to the kid that played Anakin?
Oh yeah,
the first
basically
one?
he gave up acting. He's been
well, not just give up acting, but apparently he's in some sort of rehab now.
Well, he got busted for drunk driving.
Yeah, so I was just like, and I mean, growing up, he was finangled all this time, and it's like, it just kills me that people would do that. To a 9-10-year-old kid.
Yeah. Well.
All right, so is that it, or I think that's it.
If you've gotten all the booty, then you should be.
Yes. I got all the ground to the dead man's chest because you grabbed them all.
Yeah. Did you have you lit all the buildings on fire?
I don't need to.
Okay.
You did all the work for him there,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know how it is. I'm busy rambling.
You are, but that's okay.
Man, I love some chainmail that actually applied to what I did. I would love that so very much. Gosh.
Ready?
Nope. Yep.
So we gotta kill the taskmaster, who's probably gonna be on the boat, and then we have to go get fillings.
Yay, fillings. Oh, by the way, speaking of Star Wars, for those that don't know, there have been roughly 3 different versions of the Star Wars role-playing game made by various people. Now, Xavier and I played the first 2 pretty extensively, I feel. And I found your old character from the first.
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Who, for those who care, it happens to be a X-wing.
Yes.
And I found him on my computer. I was just like, oh my god, this is this guy. I was really kind
That's
of. That's
fantastic. He was a pretty badass guy. Like, I mean, obviously he was only pretty much just mainly good flying a ship, but boy oh boy, he could fly a ship.
Right. Yeah. My biggest problem is I think I threw away all those rules.
Yeah.
Because after getting the next version, because the next version changed the rule set completely. Yep. They went from a D6 system to the D20 system, to the freeform D20 system, and that was fast.
Well, we are pretty badass.
Yeah, we are. And so I was like, okay, I could probably do away with it, especially since my old room needed to be cleaned out. So what are we doing now? Where are you downstairs?
No, well, I'm trying to go down all the way to the bottom. Somehow we already killed him. I didn't even realize we already killed him.
Yeah. No, we killed him back here.
All right, well then let me just kill this one guy who's annoying me. Okay. All right, enough with the. Jeez. Oh, that was him. Okay. I thought he looked different than the other ones. I was like.
Oh, he did. he was.
It's hard to see with that big, the wave stuff flashing around. All right.
All right. So back. Here we go. Whoop. Oh no. Oh, I'm okay.
So now we need to get gold fillings.
Fillings. Yep.
Which apparently are way down here.
From very specific people.
All these people here do it. Woohoo! Oh, great. The strong arms will pull you towards them.
That's nice.
Just a heads up. Which, for a range class like me, kind of sucks.
Hey, at least you get something like 5 per person.
Well, I don't know about 5, but we did a few.
I got 5. I got 5 off of one person.
Jeez.
Xavier, type it up a storm over there.
No, I'm just hitting my keys.
Really hard.
This keyboard is loud,
Yeah.
which, doesn't always make a stop it. This only seems to matter when I'm actually recording something. Hey, you know what? When you're doing it right, things get noisy. Okay, so there. Happy now?
That fanfic doesn't type itself.
That's right.
It's actually a bot that's playing WoW right now. I'm actually working on chapter 4. Whee!
Let's see. Yeah, there's this. Now it's like I keep, now that I've kind of worked through any resentment issues I may have and other stuff. It's like now just kind of waiting and trying to see where things go. Who is this Lord Sook?
Snoke.
Whatever. Call him Snooky for all I care.
No, don't call him Snooky, for God's sakes.
That's what it reminds me of every time I hear it.
See, I
He
kept
sounds like
thinking,
he looks like Voldemort.
yeah, I kept thinking Snoke or Smoke. I was like, no, it's Snoke. That's a terrible name.
And and so I'm like, who is he? That's kind of the big, like, between that and like who the girl is, who the parents are for the girl of Rey. It's just
I really hope she's Luke's daughter.
So do I. No, so do I. And that's kind of the going. That's kind of the going guess. But there's no like definitive.
Right. We won't know. We won't know until at least.
We won't be able to know until right.
Knowing the way they do things, you probably won't know until the 3rd movie.
Probably. But like, who is this Snoke guy?
Well, he's a Sith Lord. He's basically the newer version of the Emperor.
Do we know he's a Sith Lord, or is he just a dark side user?
Yeah, well, he's definitely a dark side user because he's talking about completing Kylo's training.
Right. And then that's kind of my point. Is like, but then there are people who are like, well, he's Lord Plagueis. If you know who that is.
Kind of.
Lord Plagueis was Darth Sidious' teacher.
He's been around for a while, then.
Well, that was kind of the hook in the 3rd movie, wasn't it? That he knew how to live forever.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
Lord Sidious Phoenix is Emperor Palpatine.
Oh, okay.
And Plagueis was his teacher. So. And so that's kind of the guess, is like he didn't because Palpatine supposedly poisoned him, and so it's like, okay, so he poisoned him. He was like, well, I don't need this crap from him, and so he just kind of waited around until, because he knew he was going to live forever, and so he just waited until Palpatine died.
Okay.
And that's a guess. I'm just like, well, that's kind of a neat guess.
Might also explain why he looks so weird. Is that there might have been like a side effect of his living forever thing.
Right. If that's, yeah, but I mean, he looks so much like Voldemort from Harry Potter.
Well,
It's
yeah.
crazy.
It was a weird character design because it was obviously with CG and nothing else looked CG except for him.
Right.
So, because I mean, they did motion capture with Andy Serkis for him, so it was like, well, that's weird.
Are we going downstairs? Are we going downstairs? Or did we need to kill him? No, downstairs.
And you.
I think the captain usually back here.
Usually they're back there, but I didn't see him. But let's check down below. They've started putting them down below to make it a little bit more challenging to get to them, but I don't see it here.
Oh, there you go. That's a good point.
Nope.
He's not
Nope.
down there? He's supposed to be.
Well, he's not.
Maybe he needs to spawn again.
He's dead.
yeah,
He's
we're-
dead right now.
So he's down. So you saw his
No,
body.
but you can target him. But what you target is a corpse.
Well, then you've seen his body then.
No, I typed in /TAR cap and then. Oh, he was on the deck. He was that big.
Oh, he's a big. He's a
Yeah,
big
he
dude.
starts out as a normal person. I assume when you get to a certain level of healthy.
Oh, yeah, okay. So that explains a lot. And so now it's just theories, who's Luke's, like, is Rey his daughter? and where is Ren gonna fit into all this? And there was one guy who Jesse Cox, YouTuber, very funny. He has a wish basically where let me kill this guy. Where he wants the second movie to be like to have Ren and Kylo and Rey to fight, right? Yeah. But or not just that, but like all of Kylo's knights to fight against her, and so he wants her to actually fight all of them, but to kind of lose so that they have Skywalker show up and like turn on I am Jedi Master, hear me roar kind of situation. Right. And very Yoda, when he shows up and he's like fighting like really badassly. Yes. And that'd be kind of a neat thing, her learning the lesson of defeat, even through pride there's downfall, that kind of stuff. And then having him save her somehow. I was just like, that's pretty cool. And I know I asked you this before, but another big question is Luke going to even survive all three new movies?
My vote is yes, only because they've already killed off one of the legacy characters. I don't see them killing off more of them, and also because Mark Hamill actually really embraces being part of the Star Wars universe. So I think it's going to be a much harder sell to convince him that that's something that he's okay with.
And what do you think, Phoenix?
I feel like I think he's gonna make it like through the three, right? Like the next three. I don't know if he'll make it all the way through the last one, but I think he's gonna make it to that one.
Okay.
Is my prediction.
Nope, that's pretty much where I ended up too. So we're going back around, aren't we? Okay. And we can't looks like we might be able to slip through there, but oh well. Yeah, I mean, and that's kind of like the thought, like the last movie's going to end with like all three old characters in like ghost form or something.
Well, they can't because Han wasn't a Force user, so he can't.
Yeah, well, true, he wasn't, but he had a way with him where he depended on his luck quite a lot.
Right.
Which a one-way Force-sensitive people who don't have training manifest Force is by having luck.
But then also, if he was actually using the Force, then that would have been sensed by Luke or Leia or anybody else.
Right, unless it's such an insignificant amount. Anyway, it was kind of a joke when they mentioned it, and I'm just like, okay, well, I doubt it, but it was kind of funny, kind of a funny thought. And I was talking to a guy later, and I'm like, well, what if the whole story of Star Wars, at least these 9 movies, are really the rise and the fall and rise again of the Jedi Order? Well, if that's the whole point,
could be.
Or it's just like at the end, there's like going to be some sort of like you see a ceremony where the Jedi Order comes back, or something.
Right?
Don't you think that is the point, though?
It could be. I don't know. I mean, it's just a thought. At first, it's like really. I thought the whole story was really about the Skywalkers, their whole family. What happens to them and what they go through, and just that the stuff that happened to them is on like a galactic scale. But it'd be kind of neat if it was more or less about like the Jedi Order. It being this big monstrosity thing and needing to be purged of because I mean they're so full of themselves basically. And then coming back, But the funny part is that in the legacy stuff, the Jedi Order never really came back. I mean, sure, Luke had some pretty good luck training people, but he more often than not they got blamed for some horrible thing at the start of a series, and they worked like through 20 some odd books just to take care of it. I mean, in fact, in one case, at least in the last series, second to last series, which I never really liked because Chewbacca dies right off the bat.
Spoilers.
They were. No, they don't even count anymore, so I don't think that's a spoiler.
Okay.
They count as far as we're concerned.
Not anymore, thankfully. Chewbacca died. Never again. He did.
I don't want to hear that.
Granted,
I haven't seen it.
Like,
shush.
It's not a scene. It's a read. It's a book. It's a book. Uh-huh.